Hey, this is Dahmer's Cool Stuff, and this is a video response to Edt1138's mystery gift card contest of GameStop. I could easily do a for and against GameStop. I do shop at GameStop. I consider it a necessary evil. A lot of my PS2 games that I've gotten on the cheap have come from GameStop. My entire GameCube collection, except for maybe one or two pieces so far, has come from GameStop, because they have the buy two get two free on the GameCube stuff. This is an odd question for me to answer. Full disclosure, I have worked for GameStop for 5 years as an assistant store manager up until 2010. That's when I was unceremoniously removed from the company because about a year and a half prior, we had a new district manager and he had it out for me. He was a numbers or you're gone guy. Needless to say, it took him a year and a half to finally get rid of me. Even though I knew what I was doing and I was more knowledgeable than half of the tool bags that he hired since then. Now the store I go to, that you see a lot in the videos, that's a good store. I like that store. They know what they're doing. It kind of sucks. I don't hate the employees in the stores I go to because they actually know what they're doing. And I can fully understand a lot of the hate that this company gets. It kind of starts from the top all the way to the bottom. And you have to look real hard to find a store that can actually think on its own. Which is hard to do because even thinking on your own, according to GameStop, will get you in trouble. Hence why the district manager wanted to get rid of me. That's alright, he got rid of the entire store after the hammer dropped on me. Like, literally, like, that whole crew had been there for at least 2 years with us. 6 months after I got fired, there was only one person left. And a lot of kids that didn't know anything about anything. I can say kids because I'm 34, fuck you. But here's why I'm against GameStop in general. Number one, Game Informer. I keep that around for the fucking discount. This is the biggest pile of This is the biggest pile of donkey dick magazine ever. I know some of you guys that are subbed to Edt1138 know of a man called Razor Fist and how video game journalism has hit a low point. And this company is responsible for it because this magazine is absolute garbage. Or as Angry Video Game Nerd would say, garbage. Number two, the amount of time I spent in that company means I have got a massive backlog of horror stories about what has been said to me as a human being. Honestly, sometimes the clientele of GameStop can go fuck themselves. This is where the hate gets. PS3 launch, I worked it, around that time. And it's not our fault, like the people who work the day in, day out in the store's fault, that Sony decided to fuck the allocation orders that we were supposed to get. I was supposed to get 18 to start with, so we took 18 pre-orders to start with. Then I was supposed to get 12. Then I was supposed to get 8. Then I got 6. And Sony said a week later I would be getting 6 a week to replenish the pre-order stock of the 18 that we were initially promised. You see the problem in that? Most people handled it well. Some of these guys are, seasoned and they know, shit, it's Sony. They do this. One guy in particular decided that he wanted to threaten the entire staff by doing a drive-by on us. That was fucking cute. There's some lines that you can cross, and I'm sorry if you think I'm a jerk-off for doing it. Think about it like this. You're just doing your job and some asshole tells you that he's going to do a drive-by on your store. Not your fault that you don't have the systems. cute stories, like when IDing became a big thing. I had a guy basically wanted to buy Saints Row. I'm like, yeah, man, I just got to check ID. And he gave me shit for it. And this dude probably is like 18, 19 years old. Doesn't matter. ID checking anyway. Have to. The fine that I would get is too severe. So Captain Machismo over there decides that he wants to take this correct opportune time to want to take me outside and fight me. Yep. He's like, you want to step outside? The level of disrespect shown to me then, this was my exact reaction. You want to say that to me again? Now, some of you guys know me. I'm not intimidating at all. I'm actually a fucking pussbag. But if you don't know me, and I have a cleanly shaven head and a full goatee, and I take off the glasses and I give the look of death, it can be intimidating. If you know me, you laugh your ass off. Going, oh, that's Dom, just trying to be cute. That kind of snapped him back into it. And basically, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I was like, it's alright, dude. I just gotta ID check these things. Still not as bad as the dude who wanted to do a drive-by to my store. Now, I probably make it, I'm giving the absolute extreme customer service craziness that I've ever happened. For Buy and Buy, we're a fine store. We weren't dicks. The entire staff that we had weren't dicks. We were all gamers. We understood. We would return open games to some regulars. I mean, if you're a regular customer, and even if you were not a regular customer and you presented yourself with a reasonable argument, and as long as the game was fine, like looked fine, okay, awesome sauce. It's understandable. Shit like that happens. But now with this company wanting numbers over anything, you get the mass majority of dicks nowadays. I'm going to try to think of another story real quick. One that would just fucking floor you. I ruined Christmas. I've ruined Christmas. I've ruined Easter. I've ruined birthdays. I've slated baby Jesus. I've gone against any form of religion. I'm a horrible human being. I shouldn't have kids. I shouldn't be alive. I'm a scumbag. I'm a dick. Once again, thank you for ruining Christmas and Easter. I've been called every fucking name in the book because of the way this company operates. And it's like good employees like me and the staff that I had to deal with it because we knew what we were doing. But there's just some things that you can't do. Like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that the Wii was going to be a national shortage until a year later? That's where the I ruined Christmas and Easter bit came in. I didn't know that. And yeah, I know Razorfist has a very compelling argument. If you do look at his GameStop rant, he is totally right. Stores were doing that when it came to the Wii launch. They wanted their Black Friday numbers good because corporate wanted it. Some stores, I know in my area, we got half and half. We were supposed to keep X amount of Wiis in the back room for Black Friday, and we can sell the rest. One store, however, decided he wanted to sell all his, so the rest of the stores had to give one of their held back Wiis to this store because he decided to sell all of his Wiis. He knew what he was doing. The fucker got 10 more Wiis than he was supposed to. So his numbers looked great. Our numbers looked bad. And also, yeah, this is the last story. This is more of how the company handles itself. It is a thrive or die environment. You have to hit reserves. You have to hit gameplay guarantees. You have to hit Game Informer subscription magazines. You have to do all this while being understaffed, which Razorfist did mention. You have to do unreasonable requests from the company when it comes to inventories and still keep your payroll under. I break it down like this when it comes to stores and why district managers figured out that as long as people go into the store, they're fine. You walk into your average GameStop, it's Some of the areas are probably a hot fucking mess. You walk back in that store 2 weeks later, those same areas are probably still a hot fucking mess because the employees themselves have given up on them sections, and I say that because there's no time. You can allocate 5 hours to fix, let's say, the PS2 section. You can allocate 5 hours to fix that PS2 section every day. Every day. And the 2 days that you're off, you will come back, and that fucking section will be annihilated. Now, the average store will get about 70 hours a week. So, the way it works is, the assistant manager, which I got 38 hours right off the top. So now we go from 80 hours to 30 hours. See where the problem's at? There are 6 other people besides me. 3 of those people are key holders. They have to at least get 10 hours a week. I have 2 cashiers. 2 or 3 cashiers are gameplay advisors. There'd be weeks where they didn't work. There was weeks where it was 3 people who worked the entire week, because that's how few hours we got. This was Madden launch. This was the Madden, I think, 09 launch. One of the bigger Madden launches out there. So you mean to tell me this company couldn't pony up hours? It's all about saving the almighty dollar. And that's what my biggest concern about GameStop is. Like, they're all about the dollar. I still shop there because it's a necessary evil. You know, I also dislike the fact that a lot of them throw away PS2 games. I can understand the cases. I can understand if it was the sports titles. Because, seriously, who's going to buy fucking Madden 2004 except this jerk-off right here? But, seriously, you've thrown away RPGs. You want to know what breaks my heart? And this is going to fucking suck, because they had to do this, unless I bought it that day. They had to throw away the case and the instructions for Persona 3 FES Edition and Shimigami Nocturne. They got those games traded in, and they had to throw away the case and well, they kept the instructions, but somebody stole them. They had to keep the case. They had to throw the case away, with the insert and all. Now, it's because of a space issue. Well, I go to a bigger store nowadays to pick up my PS2 games. Most of the time, I mean, cover art project that night. I didn't get this from GameStop. I actually got Silent Scope 3 from a friend. I bought a small little lot. But usually when it comes to the GameStop that I go to, there's 2 components, at least with most of the games. The games will sit in yellow sleeves like this. The game will be in there and the instruction will be there. Now, some people will be like, that will scratch the game. It's actually a lot better than having it rub up against it, because some weird pressure happens where the game barely moves when you put the envelope in there. But as long as it has the game and the instructions, it's fine. I can always reasonably print the case out. I can reasonably print the case out from thecoverproject.net. Now, what am I going to do with the card? I'm going to be hypocritical. I deserve a comeuppance for the time served in GameStop. I will probably buy some games that I've been looking for, depending on the value of the card. But then the card, it's go time. I can either blend the shit, will it blend style. I could put a bunch of fireworks around it and light the fucker up. I can make a combustible lemon and shoot it into the stratosphere. I can throw it into a fan of a car and see what happens. I can chop it up in little bitty pieces, and when I pick up Borderlands 2, I can throw the fucker in the air. Well, not Borderlands 2, this will be coming out. I can do multiple things to this card after I'm done spending it. Yeah, this is Dahmer's cool stuff. This turned into a really big rant. My bad. I do like this contest, though. This is kind of a kick-ass contest, and it was very cathartic for me as well. So thanks, Ed. Edt1138. This is a pretty awesome contest. Yeah. This may be altered a little bit just to get some pauses out as I collected my thoughts. But this is Dahmer's cool stuff, and this is a relatively uncut GameStop rant. And as always, do good gaming.